Okay. All right. Well, if anyone's joining us on YouTube right now, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We just watched a film, a documentary film about the Holy Land Foundation by Al Jazeera. And this is a hybrid event. I'm personally here at the Community Church of Boston in the Copley neighborhood of Boston. We had a handful of people here with us, and we have about 80 people on Zoom. We had more than 80 people for most of the film. We just watched a really sad film about the Holy Land Foundation. The Holy Land Foundation is a charity. They were a charity that did charitable work for children and feeding hungry people, very honorable and noble work. And they were persecuted and put in jail. There was 5 of them, the Holy Land 5, who were placed in jail. So it's just we just watched a heartbreaking film. It's a story about cruelty, human cruelty, what humans are capable of inflicting upon other humans. So we're here right now with Nida Abu Baker, who is the daughter of Shukri Abu Baker, who's the founder and former CEO of the Holy Land Foundation. So we're going to be in discussion with Nida for about, I'd say about 25 minutes or so. So Nida, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can unmute you guys. Allow people to unmute. Okay, Nida, you should be able to unmute now. Nida, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Tell us about your father and how is he? And when's the last time you spoke with him?
First off, you guys, thank you so much for even having an event like this. It means so much more than you know, and your love and support. My dad feels it, and he's so thankful for you guys. My dad, he's doing okay. He is currently in Beaumont, which is 5 hours away from Dallas. It's about an hour away from Houston. He is in one of the most violent prisons in the USA. They are almost nearly always on lockdown, meaning they are locked in their cell. They're not able to leave or do, just the basic things a human being needs to do, like shower, have a phone call, or even grab some food or go to the library. They're not able to do that whenever they want. They are given 1 hour every other day if they're lucky. And during that hour, he has to choose what he wants to do because, for example, the line just to be able to have a phone call can take up to an hour. So obviously he doesn't even have like the comfort of being able to take a shower or call a loved one anytime he wants to. So that's been also taking a toll on him. His spirits remain high, but it is getting harder on him because he is getting older. It was just his birthday like 2 weeks ago, another birthday in prison. This is the 14th birthday we've spent apart from each other. It's about to be my birthday this weekend. Like, it's unbelievable. And I just it's surreal thinking about how long it's been. It feels like it's been forever, but at the same time, it kind of just feels like it's been a few weeks that he's been gone. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, going back to the prison. So he is in one of the worst prisons, and because of COVID, the lockdown restrictions have gotten so much worse. So we're not able to visit him as much as we used to. I haven't seen him since the summer, and I saw him the summer before that, so twice in 2 years. And then they will have think of a shower curtain. It's just this plastic screen on these PVC pipes, probably 5 feet high and 3 feet wide. And we have to talk to my dad through that screen in a big room with other prisoners as well. Every prisoner has this curtain in front of them. It doesn't make sense. But that's just the way it is now. And then he also his health hasn't been that great because, I mean, like I said, he's getting older, and in October he actually had a near-death experience where he inhaled the fumes that the correctional officers used to break up a fight, and it landed him in the hospital unconscious. People thought he died. He thought he died because he basically saw himself on the other side. He saw my sister who had passed away greet him. He saw his dad greet him, and he told himself, like, that's it. And when he woke up, he was actually like in shock. He woke up in the hospital, and he was told that if it weren't for the other inmates, then he probably would have been left there to die. Because, mind you, when all of this happens, the officers, I mean, they're going to use these gases to break up a fight because there is no other way. It's dangerous there. People are stabbing people left and right. So for their own protection and for the protection of other prisoners, that's the fastest way to stop a fight. I don't think it's the best way, but it is the fastest way. And so when everyone loves my dad, but they're not able to differentiate who's who lying on the ground. Everyone is in a khaki jumpsuit. So like the inmates all crowded around him, and they were telling them, please take him to the hospital, get him medical attention. He's not breathing. My dad was turning blue. And so yeah, that happened, and it wasn't the first time that it happened. It's just that this time it was so much worse. So that's why we need him out of there as soon as possible, because this is no place for a man like my father. My father did not commit one single crime, has never been violent in his life. He's in prison with violent people. And it's just, they need to be out.
Yeah, that's right. That's so sad. Our mutual friend Lena Alarian, she told me that story about how the correctional officers sprayed some sort of tear gas and your father almost died. And the only reason, one of the main reasons he was alive was because the other prisoners saved his life because they loved him so much. He's
Yeah.
a leader in prison. And that's how our prisons are. We have so much. We just saw a documentary of how your dad is totally innocent, completely innocent, a good person, actually a genuinely good, noble person, and he's in prison because our criminal justice system or legal system or country or whatever, it's fake. We're going to open up this event for questions, Q&A. So if anyone here in the live auditorium has any questions, you can come over here and share the mic with me, and we'll pass our questions to Nida. Or if anyone on Zoom has any questions for Nida, they can raise their Zoom hand and ask their question. So I see two people have their hands raised. We'll take a question from Joan Livingston, and then we'll take a question from Dean Stevens. So Joan, and please, everyone, please, if we could keep our questions short, that'll give us opportunity to ask as many questions as we can. Joan, could you please unmute and say what you have to say?
If Joan Livingston, I don't have a question.
Okay, I saw your hand raised.
I heard my
Dean,
name, but I don't have a question. I didn't raise my hand.
Okay, Dean, do you have a question?
Hi, Nida.
Hi.
I just want to say that it's great to see you. I feel a deep love and a deep feeling of solidarity for you and for all of these families and for what they have suffered. And I feel a desire to do everything that we can do at Community Church to send that solidarity to you and to help get your fathers out as soon as possible. Community Church, I will tell you, did a couple of things back in our history. The first thing I'll mention was that we fell deep into the defense of Sacco and Vanzetti. And several founders of the church were became friends with Vanzetti and visited him and gave him English tutoring. And one of them was actually in Italy visiting Vanzetti's family when they were executed in 1927. The second thing I'll mention is that in 1953, Community Church put together a petition to save the Rosenbergs. And this is something I want to do. This petition went out to faith leaders throughout New England and upstate New York. And it educated a lot of these ministers and pastors about the Rosenbergs, and we could do that too. And it's a ton of work, but I'm up for it, and I want to try to replicate what we did 70 years ago for the Rosenbergs with this situation. I call on any other members of the church or even people in solidarity with this to join me and be in touch with the church to try to help put together not only this action but other actions. A petition that's signed by heads of state, by prominent academicians, by Nobel laureates to free these men. Just a couple of little ideas. Finally, I just want to say, Nida, that I love the beads that your father makes. And they're to those who haven't seen them, we showed them at the beginning of this program tonight, and they're just beautiful. I think they're called masbaha. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
And they are just gorgeous prayer beads made out of bread. And we have a few of them at the church, and we will be acquiring more. And if anybody wants to get a set of these beautiful Muslim prayer beads made by Shukri Abu Baker, be in touch with us, and we will make that happen. Thank you, Nida. It's just great to see you again, and be in touch. I will let people know also that Abdul Rahman O'Day was not able to come to the event that Nida attended, was with us in December, as well as Miko Peled, but we still have his plane ticket. Abdul Rahman got sick and couldn't come, and he will be joining us at some point in the next year before the plane ticket expires. So stay tuned for that, as well as other events in solidarity with the Holy Land Foundation. 5.
Great, thanks, Dean. Jordan, do you want to unmute and say your question?
Hi, thank you so much for being here. This film was incredibly powerful and devastating, and I definitely hope that we can support your father and all the Holy Land 5 any way we can. This may be like unwarranted like advice, but I saw a connection in this case, and you know the NGOs, the Palestinian NGOs that were labeled terrorist groups, kind of like a through line of labeling human rights groups and charitable groups terrorist, to cut off any ability for the Palestinian people to take any care of yourselves, basically. And so I know there was a lot of outcry about that in the past like year or two, and so I was sort of wondering if it would make sense to raise awareness around both this case and the Stand with the Six as kind of like connected issues within the US, but maybe that doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry. Okay, do you mind just like repeating the question?
I guess, do you think there would be any value in connecting this case with the designation of 6 Palestinian human rights organizations as terrorist in the past couple of years? Israel has, designated like 6 human rights organizations, I think it's 7 now, but as terrorist, and it's sort of a similar dynamic of, making people's humanitarian work impossible and criminal, and locking people up as political prisoners over their humanitarian work. And
Right.
I just saw a lot of outrage in the United States about that, but not about this case. So
No, for sure. I mean, honestly, the Holy Land Foundation, like that was just one of many organizations that ended up shutting down because Israel just doesn't like Palestinians getting the help that they need, obviously. And after the HLF 5, after the Holy Land Foundation was shut down, I mean, they started doing it more and more, and it's going to continue to happen unless we talk about it. And so, yes, I do think it's important to connect it, because it's all connected, honestly. They're going to stop anyone who tries to help Palestine, and they don't want Palestinians to get the resources that they need to continue to thrive and to live and just have a normal life. So yeah, I do think it's important to talk about it and to spread awareness together.
Thanks, Jordan, and thanks, Nida. Okay, yeah, so I'll reiterate that if you're watching on Zoom, you can use your raise hand feature or put a question in the chat, and we'll keep an eye out for that. And if you're here in the auditorium, then you can come here to the mic where I'm sitting and ask a question if you want. I agree with the sentiment that this is all interconnected. Dean Stevens made the connection here between the Holy Land 5 case and the Sacco and Vanzetti case, even though the Sacco and Vanzetti case happened like 100 years ago, but it had similar things going on in terms of political persecution, anti-immigrant sentiments, xenophobia. And it was actually Dean's idea to award the Sacco and Vanzetti Award of Community Church Boston to the Holy Land 5 Foundation because of those connections. So part of me was hoping that he would be able to moderate this event tonight, but Dean is at home and I'm here. And the reason is because tomorrow night we're having another event, and it's like National Student Press Day or something. And it's an event for Julian Assange, because Julian Assange is the best journalist of our time. And in 2021, we gave an award to the family of Julian Assange, but he wasn't here to receive it. So his dad and his brother, John and Gabriel Shipton, were here to receive the award on behalf of Julian Assange. And I had the opportunity to interview them right here, right over there. And it was a really special moment in my life. But also it was really very, very sad and heartbreaking, because they wanted to, they were such kind, gentle people. They were so soft-spoken and nice, kind people. So I was heartbroken that they weren't able to be with their son and their brother, Julian Assange. So I just wanted to share that story, because if any of us are fortunate enough to be able to spend time with our parents or grandparents or children or siblings, then we're actually very fortunate. So tell your family members tonight that you love them and you miss them and you can't wait to see them again. All right, let me look at the chat and see if anyone put any questions here. Oh yeah, and Nida, happy birthday to you, like happy
Thank
early
you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, Linda Cohen, you have a question. Linda, please unmute.
Yeah, hi. Happy birthday, Nida. It's not a question exactly. I want to thank Dean Stevens and the Community Church of Boston for giving the Sacco and Vanzetti Award to the Holy Land 5. I participated through Zoom at that event, and it was the most electrifying, it was one of the most electrifying events. It was so extraordinary, and this situation is so heartbreaking. And I've been involved in supporting Palestine for 20 years, only being concerned for 50 years, but only trying to be active in the last 20. And I had no idea about the Holy Land 5. So thank God for the community church bringing this forward to us. And is there any way that we could write letters to your father and the other men that are in prison? You know, is there any way we can show that kind of support? Because our government is so entrenched in supporting Zionism that I don't know, you know, if there's anything, I don't know what we can do.
Absolutely. My dad, he loves receiving letters, and he basically replies to every single letter that he gets. He loves it. And it really gives him hope when he sees the letters that he gets, because everyone is always just so nice, and like the amount of support that we've been getting has been very overwhelming and beautiful as well. So yes, please do send him letters. He loves it. I can
Maybe Dean could put some links. Maybe Dean, after this, you could send somehow you could give us addresses. How do we do that later?
go ahead and put a link actually. So within our lifetime, they're an activist organization based in New York. They've been helping me with the Free the HLF-5 campaign. And so they put together basically like a one-stop shop for everything that you need, all the resources. They also have their addresses as well. And then what's it called? They also put down like other ways you can help. So I'll go ahead and put that link right now.
Is that the coalition?
Well, they're a part of it. So we have a few like organizations helping us with the Free the HLF-5 campaign. Within Our Lifetime is kind of like the main group that I was in contact with, and then other organizations and activists joined in. And there's also like a registration where you can sign up as well. Anyone can sign up, and you can like get updates and for what do you call it? Sorry, for like, anytime like we're trying to do something with the campaign. So I'm gonna just find the link real quick.
Yeah, can we put that in the chat?
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So we're a little bit past 9 o'clock here. So what we'll do is we'll take a question. I'll read off a question from Rosemary in the chat, and we'll take a question from Martha, and then we'll start getting ready to wrap up. Rosemary writes in the chat, Rosemary Keene, she says, Nida, your family is so amazing. The love and rich humanity you maintain, even in these circumstances, is an incredible inspiration. It is difficult to realize that our country is so cruel and inhumane. Thank you, Dean and Cole, for showing this film. We look forward to joining the campaign for the freedom of Nida's father. Is there anything we can do right now?
Thank you so much, Rosemary, for your super kind words. It means a lot. So right now, honestly, like you guys have seen in the film, we've exhausted every legal route. So now it's like up to us to stand up and like talk about it. We need to continue to talk about it to everyone that we meet. Any opportunity that we get, we need to have more events like this in person and online. It's very important. And I'm honestly like so amazed by the turnout of tonight. So thank you all for even being here. You could have been doing anything else. And then more screenings, film screenings. This film is old, but I mean, we have, it's a very important film. They covered everything that we need for people to know about the case. And then, as mentioned, Within Our Lifetime has everything you need to find out more. And I just put the link in the chat right now. Oh, and then also social media. If you guys are on social media, spreading awareness online is really essential, because we really don't know, the right person can see your post and they might be able to help, or know someone else that can do something. So yeah, we just need to keep spreading awareness by mouth, online, in person. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Rosemary, and thanks, Nida. Martha, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for this event. And I'm really so sorry about the situation your father is in. But I do want to point out that the United States injustice system has a very long history of practice on African Americans. Many are in exactly the same situation as your father. They've committed no crimes. They've just been vilified in the court system. And I wanted to make you aware of the Equal Justice Initiative. You might be familiar with the book or the movie Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson, who has spent time looking and working with people who have been unjustly incarcerated. And the Equal Justice Initiative is a large organization that is doing a lot to bring awareness to these unjust incarcerations. So you might want to take a look at them or have your attorneys take a look and see what the options might be.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Martha. And honestly, like, you're absolutely right. And one thing that I've always noticed from day one, like, I just want to add this. Whenever I go visit my dad in jail, and it's making me emotional talking about it right now, because they go through, they really go after the minorities. And I'm not just saying this, like, I go visit my dad in jail, and who are 90% of the inmates? African Americans, young African Americans and old African Americans. The young ones went in at the age of 16 for something really dumb, and they will get charged and they will get sentenced to 15 to 25 years in jail, while the white man who did the same exact crime will go in for 3 to 5 years and out. So it's ridiculous. And our communities, we really need to stand together, because the struggle of the minority in the United States, it's real. I watched my dad growing up. I watched my dad get we were just going on like a family trip, and we got pulled over by the cops. He was pulled out of the car. This was absolutely for no reason. He got pulled out of the car and basically planted face down onto the hood of our car. And ever since then, we've just been so scared around cops. They get you pulled over for no reason. They will pull out their guns for no reason. They stormed through our home with huge guns pointing at our head. And we're a family with young girls. We're supposed to grow up, feeling protected by our government, protected by the cops, but that is not the case. And that is not the case for minorities here. People of color, people of different religions, it's not the case. And so yes, thank you for that. I'm definitely going to look into this. And just know that we stand with you guys. And I know you guys stand with us as well.
Yes. When I spent some time in Palestine as a witness to the oppression, and although we were there for 2 weeks, it only took me about half a day to say, oh, this is so familiar.
Yeah. Well, it's been known that the cops here in the US, they're trained by IDF soldiers in Israel, so they all use the same tactics.
Mm-hmm.
The knee to the neck, that's an Israeli tactic.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing
Martha.
with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Martha. Thanks, Nida. I'm going to read one question from the chat, and then we're going to get ready to wrap up. Nida, I'll give you the last words to close off the meeting if you have anything to say. Claire is asking in the chat, Claire Sheridan asks, has the ACLU or other legal organizations taken up this case?
Sorry, what was the question again?
Has the ACLU or other legal organizations taken up this case?
I remember hearing about the ACLU looking into this, but honestly, after the presidential pardon, after that, we haven't, I don't know if there has been anything else that's been going on. So yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure what else has happened ever since the failed presidential pardon.
Okay. All right, Nida, before we close off tonight's program, are there any last final words you want to share with us?
There was a poem that I would like to share, if you guys are up for that. It's by my dad.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it.
Okay, so this one is called Bedtime Stories. 1988, Indianapolis, Indiana. 8:05 p.m. My daughter, 5 years, and I. Why are we here, Baba? It's bedtime, baby. No, I mean here on Earth. So you, Mama, and I can spin together, round and around, all day, all night. You, me, and Mama, and Earth, baby, all together. And we won't get dizzy and fall down. No, not so long we're holding hands. But say I got tired. Will you love me? Of course, baby. We love you forever. And what is forever, Baba? It's when Earth spins no more, baby. And will Earth spin no more, Baba? Never, baby. Ever. 2018, Dallas, Texas, 8:05 p.m. My daughter and her son, 6 years old. Is Sido getting old, Mama? And Sido means grandpa in Arabic. So, is Sido getting old, Mama? Older and older, baby. Me too, Mama. You growing older? Just like Sido. But I don't see any gray in your hair, baby. But I do, Mama. Where? Show me, son. It's in Sido's beard. But that's Sido's, not yours. You're too young to have a beard, baby. I know, but when I grow old, my beard will look just like Sido's, nice and white. And your head? Bald, but not all the way. Still, I will look great for my age. Just like Sido, just like him. And your laughter, baby? Loud and fills the house. Just like Sido's? Just like Sido's, Mama. That was just a poem that my dad wrote in prison, just reminiscing on conversations he had with his daughter, my older sister, and how she has conversations about her dad with her son. And yeah, if you guys are interested as well, you can read more poetry on notes from shukri.wordpress.com, and I'll also put that in the chat right now.
Great. Thank you so much, Nida, for sharing that with us. And thank you for being here with us. We think about your father. We think about this case. We think about your family. We're really sorry. Have a happy birthday coming up this weekend. And everyone, thank you so much for being here with us tonight, watching this film with us, engaging with us and with Nida, and for your time and your interest. And tell your family members that you love them. And thanks again, everyone. And we'll send out these resources to people. If you're in the Boston area, come tomorrow for our Julian Assange event. If the weather's not too crazy, and come on Sunday for our W.E.B. Du Bois Day, and I'll be moderating that event. And Nino Brown will be speaking, and my friend whose name is Michael Jackson, he'll be doing the music. So everyone, thank you again so much, and have a great night.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.